good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? We are back with Regigigas hunting. We're gonna knock out another 100, 200, somewhere around there. And then we will pretty much just go into completing the Pokédex for Scarlet. Do maybe a little bit of shiny hunting, but pretty chill. Just trying to get the shiny charm for Scarlet, because then it'll be a little bit easier. But let's go ahead and start off with these Regigigas encounters. Because if we do 100, we should be nearing, we should be at or near what he's supposed to be for shiny rate. So 1400 is like 1460 is supposed to be the shiny hunt, I guess number or odds. Should be the odds. So yeah, hopefully we can get him at odds, or we'll go over and that's fine. But we're just gonna knock out some encounters, chill, before we go and work on our shiny trim. So let's go. Maybe we can knock some of these out really quickly. I think if we do start when we do start the Pokédex, trying to finish the Pokédex for Scarlet, we should be able to get it today. And then that'll set us up for a pretty good non-herb sandwich for the shinies for Scarlet. So we can knock out those Paradox Pokemon a lot quicker. And go ahead and get that Granados fossil from the Blueberry Academy before we move on to pretty much anything else. There are a few other non-specific ones that I want to get. And then we can start doing some harder shiny hunts, which I want to do another static encounter once Regigigas is done. And then I do still want to go for like a shiny Minior, the Dunsparce, the 4-segment one, and then the Tandemaus. So maybe we'll have some time for those before Legends EA, but it all matters on how fast we can get some of these shinies to pop up. And I think our biggest hurdle is going to be the static encounters for the Regigigas. Because, well, it's Reggie, so he is. The shiny hunting is pretty broken in Sword and Shield, and not in a good way. But then shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet is broken in, well, a better way, because shinies are just incredibly common. So you actually have to like make it hard if you don't want an easy shiny. Which is slightly difficult, but it is what it is. Most of the time, if you are trying to make shiny hunting harder, you don't get the shiny charm. You do full odds. Scarlet and Violet, you don't use the sandwich. So that is something you could do to make it a little bit harder. And then that's pretty much it. Or if you are using all those, you could go ahead and try and get a specific mark shiny. So there are ways to make it a little bit more difficult, but it is still super common to go ahead and get, which isn't ideal. It is not ideal. But if you are new, Regigigas in Sword and Shield is a specific spawn that you need all the Regis to go ahead and get. They have to all be in your party. That means you need Regilucky and Regidrago to actually do. And on top of that, he is going to be a level 100. You have to reset before you even activate the den to get a chance to be shiny. The shiny charm is broken, so it doesn't work correctly on the Regis. It seems like the Regis are sticking to their full odds no matter what. Shiny charm's just pretty much broken in Sword and Shield, along with the shiny mechanic, since they do stars and squares. But once you do find the one you want, if you just want to go with the normal one and not the shiny, he is a 100% catch rate, so you can get him in whatever Pokeball you want. He is a level 100. The hardest Pokemon in the Pokemon series from the wild, besides the rare now. At the time, he was the only level 100. Now in Scarlet and Violet, I believe, if I remember right, there's a level 100 Magikarp that spawns in the teal mask that you could go after, but the Regigigas is, I think, still the hardest because it is a legendary and it does hit like a truck if you let that slow start ability take place. So if you are still in the Crown Tundra DLC, I would highly recommend, if you are wanting to go for this, one, you need to trade with somebody to get the other Regi or replay the game, as well as have an Urshifu on your team, because the Urshifu will help you knock it out a lot faster since it is a normal type Pokemon. An Urshifu's fighting type and a very strong fighting type at that. So it'll be actually really helpful. Very, very helpful. I'm using a Hitmonchan it was like the first Pokemon I trained in this game, so making it a little bit easier because I kind of left him behind when Scarlet and Violet came out. So he didn't actually transfer over, and he couldn't transfer over, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. And if you're new to the channel or new to the live stream, I do cover main series games, and then whenever there is nothing for main series games, I do cover Pokemon Go on the channel to help you out with raid guides, event details, and tips and tricks. So that does help. In Pokemon Go, we did just get a massive update to Go Fest that's coming, that Ancient Recovered event. Is actually adding a golden bottle cap. So the first time in Pokemon Go, we're finally going to be able to hyper train. We're actually going to be able to hyper train our Pokemon, which is actually massive because that's going to help out immensely. Since you can go ahead and turn your non 100% CPs into 100%. So that's going to be a big change. Since now you can essentially make easier Shundos. We only get one bottle cap for the first time around, but I'm hoping they make it easier to get or a easier reward. Most likely it'll always be attached to a ticket. So essentially another pay to win thing in Pokemon Go. Pay to win's very big. Very, very big. And it is slightly a bummer. We had the Gigantamax raids, which were great. They're new forms of Pokemon, new system, but you couldn't actually go for the Gigantamax Pokemon unless you had a massive group, because you just couldn't take them down. You couldn't remote raid for them. Then they added remote raids. Everybody got happy because now you can actually remote raid for them. Because I guarantee that the system just wasn't doing that well because not a lot of people were interacting. Because they're really hard Pokemon if you don't have a group. So if you weren't in like a city or something, you just couldn't do it. Now they actually set it up to remote raid for, and doing the remote raid helps it out, made everybody happy. Now the golden bottle cap's here, and now everybody's mad again. Mad yet excited because it is essentially a pay to win. You know, pay to win is not that fun to deal with. So I'm hoping they bring it down a little bit from the $20, because it does seem to be a Go Fest exclusive thing right now. Yet I am hoping maybe they bring the silver bottle cap into Pokemon Go, and that's a more common item instead of the golden. Because golden is a bit more rare in the main series games, and the silver is a little bit more common. So we'll have to wait and see. Either way, I'm hoping that they actually interact with a broken or a rusted bottle cap. I've been hoping that for the main series games for a while. I don't know if they're going to do it. It'd be nice if they did. It would help the competitive a lot. Because then you can get competitive Pokemon a lot easier. A lot easier. We are moving right along. 1321. To me, it seems like we're loading into the game a lot faster today, which is actually kind of nice. We will have to see. We have to see how it kind of holds up. Gonna have to see how it holds up. There we go. Not shiny. Yeah, it seems like we're loading in a lot faster. Which is amazing. Which is amazing. Not a shiny. We're at 1325 already. Moving quick. Moving quick. $13.27. So yeah, it's like $14.60 for full odds with the shiny charm, apparently. Which I don't think that's going to be the case since the shiny charm is so broken. I'm guessing it's going to be more around the $14.96 range. Or $40.96. So like definitely almost double. Definitely almost double. But it is what it is. I mean, as long as it does end up becoming shiny, that's kind of all that matters. Kind of all that matters. In reality. Not shiny. I will say after the Regigigas though, I think I might be doing Arceus or Shaman. Probably Shaman because it's a mythical. And honestly, Arceus, I still haven't even completed the perfect dex for Legends Arceus, which will allow me to get it. Don't get me wrong, whenever I complete it, yeah, that's a top hunt after Regigigas. But I have to be able to have access to it. And right now, I really just don't want to go into Legends Arceus to complete it. I still want to go back and get an alpha spiritomb, an alpha shiny spiritomb. But nonetheless, I just want to get all my Paradox Pokemon. I want to get all the Paradox. I want to get Granados. Like, to me, those are my top priority, along with the Regigigas. What up, JDX? Demand me to get a shiny right now. I don't think that's going to happen. We're still under odds. Still way under odds. I wish it would be able to like be that easy and just get the shiny Regigigas. Or the shiny. Because that would be extremely, extremely easy. And that would save a lot of time. You just magically get shinies. But how are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. I'm hoping they bring back legendary hunting in Legends ZA. Actually, I really want to see more trailers for Legends ZA because there's so much. Like, it comes out in October, and I feel like Scarlet and Violet, we had pretty much all the information, leaks, maps, Pokemon, like a year before, and I haven't seen a lot for Legends ZA. Which to me is insane. But then again, Nintendo's kind of been cracking down on everything. It was the same way for Sword and Shield too, right? We had like all the leaks and everything before, like months before. Scarlet Violet, we just don't have, or Legends EA, we don't have anything. I don't have anything at all. That Sony was bad currently? Sony's always bad. Sony's always bad. It seems. They leak everything. And then even though they leak everything, they want you to always, no matter what, if it was a Sony game, sign in through PlayStation. Or was it PlayStation Network? They want you to have an account always, no matter what. Didn't Sony didn't they leak the entire Spider-Man game before that game even released? I think that was Sony's last big hiccup, right? What's up, James? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Yeah, I think Sony's last big hiccup was leaking like the Spider-Man game. They probably did do it on purpose. I mean, Spider-Man games always do really well just because of like the name attached to it. I feel like Spider-Man games just it's Spider-Man, everyone's going to buy it. It's PlayStation exclusive. So, they can kind of guarantee people are going to buy it no matter what. So they are the same games. I think the only big thing that they get upset about for Nintendo is like Pokemon. So some people like to know nothing, which is perfectly fine, and then some people want to know everything. And then if there are leaks for Nintendo, sometimes it's they don't want to know because sometimes it doesn't actually come true. Some leaks are actually just like fake nonsense. Yet people get super hyped about it. Because we had that for Legends or Zelda or something. Did that for one of the games and it came out like an entire year later. Yeah. I mean, I think a sequel, though, to a game is always the hardest. Because I feel the game itself, the first one, is always brand new. Nobody's ever played it. Nobody knows the mechanics. Nobody knows much about it. And then the second one has to build on the story that the first one made. So you can't actually like revolutionize it. I was a huge fan of the God of War games. I still am. I love those games. But I don't get a PlayStation to do it. I wait till it comes to like PC and play it. The second one was not that great. Third was better than the second. But then they did like Ragnarok, and those were completely different. So it made the games way better. Horizon I never played. They are. They're $1 trillion companies, and that's one thing I'm kind of right now happy about. So these $1 trillion companies, to me, seem to be getting beaten by the smaller companies. Like back when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Call of Duty. but that was like Black Ops 2 range. Those games were good to me. Now Call of Duty is just horrible, and it got beat out by like the finals. You have Helldivers. You have like smaller company games that are actually seems to be doing a lot better than the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is one thing is like they have trillions of dollars. I feel like the companies, the AAA companies, this is my opinion, but I feel like they've kind of taken away from what they used to be. They used to make games to have people enjoy them. Now they're making games to make money. And once you start making things that nobody enjoys anymore just because the game looks like it's going to sell good, has microtransactions and stuff like that to make money, it's no longer enjoyable. It's not a game people want to play. So I feel like they should stop. In my opinion, they need to stop trying to make the games look amazing, yet have them enjoyable. Repo's a great game. Lethal Company. Yeah. Like those games, Repo is massive. Lethal Company was massive. And they were made, I think Repo was made by like, what, 3 people? 4 people? 3, 4 people? So, you don't need much. You just have to be, yeah, you have to enjoy what you're making. Yeah, yeah, Among Us was massive. Among Us like took over everything. I mean, if you want to go with another one, you could always go with you could go with Power World. Power World was a small company, and it literally took on Nintendo. And they have like no paid anything. I think they actually added paid skins now, but yeah, Among Us was pretty burnt out. But yeah, Power like took on Nintendo and didn't even have like a loot box system or anything like that. And it was a tiny company. And I feel like Power World was one of those like those first games that started challenging the AAA. And then after that, it came like Power World, Helldivers, Lethal Company, like Repo, like I think that's when it started to shift away from the AAA world. Among Us can tear friendships apart. Among Us can easily tear friendships apart. It's like the need for that game. Because the whole point was to lie, and if you didn't lie, you got outed. You got outed quick. Yeah, that game became a problem. There was lots of trust issues created from that game. That game alone. Lots of trust issues alone off of that game. With lying, not lying, trying to figure out what people were saying, were doing. That game took over. Took over. Yeah, you already said you got Kyogre. Congrats, that's a great shiny. So you're going for shiny Piplup. That'll be a fun one. That'll be a real fun one. Shiny Piplup's a good shiny. For a starter, it's a very good shiny. I wish for shinies though, some of them, I wish they would make them like a drastic change. Because some are just like washed out, but others are way better. Like Charizard becomes a completely different color. Venusaur becomes like a washed out. Blastoise kind of changes depending on what game you're in. I had I had that trouble with Dynamax Adventures for a little bit. I'd run because it's like you're supposed to, by odds, you're supposed to get a shiny every 24 hours because you could do like a 24 raids in an hour or in a day or something like that, if I remember right. And you would just go for the legendary, go for the shiny legendary, and you would just never get it. You got a 1 in 4 odds, and it would always be one of the beginning Pokemon. Which sometimes you've gotten 3 times or 4 times at that point, because the pool for Pokemon in that Dynamax adventure is not very broad. It's pretty limiting. Pretty limiting. I did that for Guzzlord. I'm still trying to hunt a Guzzlord. It is. It's a major heartbreaker. I was like, I think for Guzzlord, I was at like 300 Dynamax raids. And I still can't get it. I still haven't gotten it. I've gotten everything else in there. Except the Guzzlord. And what made it even worse was I was hunting it, got tired, and I was like, I need to hunt something else to maybe give myself a little bit of a break. Maybe give me a little bit of a break from a Guzzlord hunt. Did one Dynamax adventure for Groudon, instantly got the shiny Groudon. I was so mad. I mean, I was happy I got the shiny Groudon, but it could have been the Guzzlord. That could have been the run that gave me the Guzzlord. And it was just horrible. Horrible. Guzzlord is a wild name for a Pokemon. I mean, yeah, it's true. It is true. Can't deny that. It's a wild name. Licky, licky, licky. Yeah, that's yeah, I mean, you go with Guzzlord and Licky Licky. I mean, those names. Slurpuff's true. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's true. But then you can also go with some of the Pokemon designs. What's up, Project? Welcome, welcome. How are you today? You could also be talking about some of the designs as well, not just their names. Yeah, there are some wild, wild names. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Regigigas is pretty bad. There's one I forgot. It's like it's not the Hitmons. Metacham, maybe. That I'm thinking of. Some of them are crazy. But I mean, eventually, I feel like you run out of designs, or you run out of names and designs. So you kind of start making stuff up as you go. Okay. And then Pokemon, I think, said that they're going to be carrying the game for like 10 more years or something. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Is that the new Mario Kart? The Mario Kart World? I haven't gotten that one yet, and I love playing Mario Kart. Jinx is a pretty bad design. Jinx is crazy. And it's been changed since its original. Still 8. Okay. Hey, it's still a good game. I still play that one. That's the one I play. I haven't super seen the need to get the new Switch or the new Mario Kart yet, because I'm still having fun on 8. The totally legal, unhacked, obviously 2-spec Mario Kart. Eight is way better. There's so much content in it too. I love how I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming out about Mario Kart World. And Mario Kart World, everyone's like, they're cheating. Like, all the reviews are they're cheating. Yeah, I mean, once it kind of gets fixed, there's a bunch of people getting I've seen getting banned, like Nintendo banned, whenever they try and swap stuff over. Like, it's triggering something, and it's just banning people outright. But Mario Kart 8 is an amazing game. Lots of content. You can literally sit there and play for over an hour and still not play the same thing twice. Like the map. Yeah, 8 was good. I got it when it first came out. It was good. It was a good Mario Kart game. But, you know, it does get tiring after a little while. And then they brought out the new content, and it like reignited that spark. Giving you more to do. You never have to actually like play the same thing twice if you don't want to. There's always something else to do. But yeah, world is kind of broken right now. 200cc time trials. Yeah, the time trials can last some time. Like, they can eat up a lot of time of you playing just trying to beat them. But yeah, that's kind of what Mario Kart is, though. You just kind of get the maps, repackage it, resell it. It's kind of what they've been doing for a while. And World actually piqued my interest because it's an open world, and I don't know how they're going to keep repackaging it. The soundtrack is pretty good. The soundtrack is really good for World. And yeah, if you want to play a game so bad, you can actually wait if you don't want it right then, and you can always get it cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. I'm interested to see what they do, though. Plus, it would be nice to have a Switch 2, because I've heard Pokemon, like, shiny hunting is completely different on the Switch 2 than the Switch 1. It, like, makes it a lot easier. Scarlet Violet runs a lot better, but you also are kind of the guinea pigs, because if there's anything broken, you kind of have to deal with it, because everything's not flushed out to the masses yet. So if you wait a little bit, you can definitely get an advantage. Yeah, I mean, what was it? The game is, I think they said the game is considering $80 for World with the console. From what I've seen from the console, though, I would almost put the console at a higher value than 400, because I think it was like 480 for the bundle when it first was announced. But I would say the console's a lot beefier, honestly. It's a lot more worth it if you don't play in handheld mode. Since it can do the higher resolutions in the dock. An Abra hunt in Fire Red. That is a good hunt. That's a hard hunt. Yeah, soft resetting takes forever. That's what I'm doing right now with the Regigigas. The soft resetting, it can go on forever, because you just, well, have to reset and hope you get lucky. The Abra hunt, I find that hunt extremely difficult, because if I remember right, back then in Fire Red, Abra would, if you didn't put it to sleep turn 1, it would just teleport away. Which, I mean, makes encountering easier. Yeah. Yeah. You would have to stop Abra from teleporting away. Because you didn't have quick balls either back then. Back then was just, what, Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball? Actually, I think it was, yeah, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, and Pokeball. I don't even think you had a Master Ball yet. I remember in Fire Red, I used to try and get an Abra so bad because Alakazam was broken. It was extremely strong because the defenses weren't split yet and the attacks weren't split yet. But it would just teleport away. I think Master Ball was in Gen 1, but I think in Gen 1 it was like hidden. I want to say the Master Ball was extremely hard to get. Like, extremely hard to get. The legacies. I don't know, I still fire up the Game Boy every now and then. Yeah, I want to say the Master Ball was like hidden in a cave that you had to have surf for that you never go to. Because that's how they used to do things back then. They used to just hide things where you never go. So you would never find it. Oh, the game corner method. Okay. Yeah, that's different. It's smart. That's extremely smart. Oh, so you doing grass encounters? That's insane. That is extreme. Fire red is Gen... Oh, I'm thinking of red, then. For Gen 1. But yeah, the game corner method is so much easier than grass encounters. That's normal cast form, right? The like non-weather cast form. Was cast form still transforming into its shiny form back then? Or was that a new update? With one of the newer generations? Because I thought they made that change like forever ago. He doesn't change in Gen 3? Yeah, just normal form. Yeah, because I thought they added that later. Because when he first came out, it was just shiny, kind of like a Ditto. Shiny in his normal form, and then doesn't transform into shiny versions. Yeah. I still think Ditto should change into the shiny version. If the Ditto is shiny, I think he should change into the shiny version of the Pokemon. Now that's probably like really, really hard to code, but it would be extremely worth it. I feel like it would be extremely, extremely worth it. Especially whenever like restricted formats for VGC, Ditto actually gets a lot more use in the competitive format. So, you know, having a Ditto that's shiny across from a like shiny Kyogre, now he transforms into a shiny Kyogre instead of a normal Kyogre. As well as, you know, if you have a like a shiny Zoroark. Zoroark transforms into the last Pokemon you picked in your party. If you have a shiny Kyogre and that comes out as a shiny Kyogre, now you have to figure out which one's actually the Kyogre and not the Zoroark. Perfect. Yeah, Ditto needs to change into the shiny versions. That's amazing. How's creating it going? VGC can be very confusing if you don't know what's going on or you don't keep up. It can get out of hand extremely quickly. Extremely quickly. Yeah, how's the fan game going? On the fire starter. Ooh. So are you making like all new creations? Or are you sprinkling in some Pokemon? I love looking at some of the fan games. Some of them are really, really good. Temtem. That's still out. I mean, nobody's really gone after it. Surprisingly. Surprisingly, nobody's gone after Temtem. Which was essentially the first, what do we say? Pokemon clone? Down to, like, the T. I don't know, it sounds amazing. I love a lot of the fan games that are made. Some of them have really good ideas. And Mons as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But now they have, like, what? They took Power World to court. Power World kind of just changed some things so they could just not deal with it. Temtem's out. Xbox has some new one coming out. I forgot what it was called. So it's like everyone's kind of entering that realm of the creature catch, like. So it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of comes of it. Definitely going to be interesting to see what comes of it. Ooh, a Rhydon split Evo. And Parasite. I'm very interested on the Rhydon. Yeah, Powerwall kind of gave up. But I'm interested. I am very interested in the Rhydon. I'm a big fan of Rhyperior. So Parasect. I mean, Parasect kind of needs an Evo. Like Dark Fighting. Ooh. Ooh. Dark Fighting could be interesting for that line. And I feel like Parasect's needed an Evo for so long. And I don't understand why it hasn't gotten one. Like, at all. Limited to a certain region. So, kind of like a Dynamax? Dark Fighting does have a lot of weaknesses, but if it's fast and hits hard, it doesn't matter on the weaknesses. I mean, Dark Fighting is the same thing as Urshifu. Single Strike. Or, yeah, you got, like, Wicked Blow. I think just knocks out everything. Oh, so it's like a region. Like, an advantage to where you are. Due to the environment. That's interesting. That is very interesting. When he screams, yeah. When Regigigas screams, it is very, very loud. Like, out of a bullet train. Yeah, kinda. His cry is definitely not enjoyable. That's why I try and do the reset before he does it. Because listening to that cry for 14,000 resets is that would make my ears bleed. But having the type right or the like new form based on where they're standing or where you're battling is very interesting. It's kind of like a built-in weather without having to set weather. I feel. Which honestly, I feel like that should have been a thing already. Just thinking back to like Gen 1, you have in the anime, Misty has the gym, which is all water. So like I feel like it should have an advantage there. Making it stronger. But they don't do that. It's kind of like it sounds a little bit like Gigantamax. Not everybody can do it. Only certain Pokemon can do it because they have special forms and they get stronger, yet not having to. Yet you have to be specifically in a certain region. It's very interesting. Mudsdale, Mudspray. Ground Electric is a very good typing. Very good typing. Yeah, I mean, the mega debate is interesting because you can say they should have only gave it to weaker Pokemon. But if they gave it to only weaker Pokemon, it's not going to be so liked, I could say. Mega Lopunny and Lopunny is crazy for getting a Mega. Yeah, Audino is terrible. But I feel like if they did buff or give Megas to Pokemon that aren't as strong, it wouldn't have been received as well. I think, in my opinion, being a Ice type lover, I think Mega Abomasnow needed kind of reworked. But then also, I would have gone with a different or a different or another Mega Ice type. So that's just no personal preference. No, there's always been there's always been a Mega Audino. They're now officially making or teased a Mega Jinx. Audino was useless. But then again, like the Megas were ran specifically by Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Salamence, Mega Garchomp, Primal Kyogre, and Groudon. So like those were the Megas that were used. Yeah, it was terrible. Mega Jinx had a file in the originals, but they didn't use it. So now apparently Mega Jinx is coming back. The only leaked Mega or teased Mega or however you want to call it, speculated that I'm excited for is Mega Frostlass. Mega Jinx would not be fun. It would just be like another Pokemon that I would shiny hunt, get the shiny for the line, check out the Mega, and then that's it. I'm not going any further. Any further than that. In all honesty. Mega Arcanine could be good. I still think Flygon should. I think Flygon needs to have a Mega to be a Mega or a Dragon Bug. Mega Scizor is a very, very good one. Houndoom is not a very good Mega. Or was Mega Houndoom meta relevant back then? Mega Scizor was definitely slept on though. Yeah, it was another one of those forgotten. Arcanine, I'm surprised that Arcanine kind of just became forgotten. I feel like normal form or Cantonian form Arcanine kind of got outplayed by Hisuian form now. Gen 6 singles? Yeah. And see, I don't know anything about singles. I know VGC. But I'm hoping some different Pokemon get Megas that they deserve. Now that Megas are coming back. As well as there could be the possibility of, I guess, Megas coming back in the mainline games. For the simple fact that this is the first time they're bringing a mechanic back. Which is exciting. Oh, now that I remember, what was it? A Pokemon Champions? It's supposed to be a PvP like battle only, which is supposed to have Megas. So that means the new Megas should be able to come in there and go against Tera and Dynamax and Gigantamax. Yeah, most people only remember. They do only remember the shiny. Because it's a very, very good shiny. Very dope Pokemon, though. I mean, you get a free shiny Ponytail. Or Ponyta from Legends Arceus. So I think that's kind of skewed it a little bit. Shiny Rapidash is good, too. But yeah, I feel like they skewed that Pokemon a little bit by giving it shiny out for free in Legends Arceus. So now people just kind of think that that Pokemon, its base form is the shiny form. Which is a bummer. Yeah, the having that as the only fire type was rough. You either pick the starter or you don't have a fire type. Yeah. Infernape's a very solid fire type, but like it almost that game almost made you have to pick Infernape unless you wanted a Ponyta. Because if you didn't pick Infernape, then you just didn't have a fire type. Unless you got Ponyta. Which is not the strongest fire type in the world. Not the strongest fire type in the world. Still solid though. Yo, what's up, Illusion? How are you? Empoleon was way better. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Empoleon's a way better starter, in my opinion, than Infernape. Infernape got a lot of love, though. I guess that would play into your Empoleon love. All for word dub. If you love penguins, JDX, what is your thoughts on SQ? Because SQ is one of my favorites. Turtwig is the starter I always pick. I always pick Turtwig. Just vibing? Nice. Welcome. Torterra, I love Turtwig and I love Torterra. That's my line. Like, if I had to pick a starter, it's either going to be between Turtwig or Tepig. And he's not even in the same gen. Torterra getting Shell Smash and Rock Polish in Scarlet and Violet was a massive change. So you don't like SQ. Got it. Decidueye solid. Chikorita. I don't think I've seen a lot of people like Chikorita. I guess maybe only based against what you have to pick from for Chikorita. They did. They jumped. They did a lot of pun mons, which I'm hoping they kind of don't in the next generation. Yeah. I'm hoping they kind of come back a little bit from all the puns. But they're still pretty good. Started with it in... Okay. Started way back with it then. Using Chikorita for a while. Using it for a while. It's not bad. I mean, all starters are... In my opinion, all starters are good. Based against each other. Some are just better. Chikorita from a design, though, is still... It's still up there in the Pokemon world. I think it needs some love, though. Game's not even out yet. Not even out yet. Fire Red was your first one. My first Pokemon game was Yellow. Best design of each generation. That's crazy. Still after Shiny Chikorita and Violet. Are you sandwich hunting it in Blueberry, or are you trying to hatch for it? Arcanine is a pretty good design. I would have to say probably Blastoise for me, though. Yeah, Masuda's kind of annoying. Especially in Scarlet and Violet. Like, there's so many other ways to hunt, which is amazing. Because it used to only be Masuda. But you can use the Sandwich Day Skip to get the Outbreak. Get the Outbreak, and then you can go to the terrarium. Because if you use a Sandwich with the Outbreak, it's so much easier. So it's like 10 times easier. Because I think in the Outbreak, if I remember right, in the Outbreak, plus a sandwich gives you like a 1 in like 24. 1 in 50, something like that. It's like really low odds. Really, really low odds. Which is nice. Remixing. That's good. It does, you know, sometimes you do have to step away from a shiny hunt to take a break. Because it can be tiring. If you're gonna say Charizard is the best design in Gen 1, you have to go with Gen 1 shiny Charizard. Throw a banana at yourself. Oh. That's terrible. You remixed the Area Zero battle things. How'd that go? But yeah, I think Gen 1 Charizard Shiny would have to be... If you're going to go with Charizard, that has to be the form of Charizard. If you want to give it an argument. Underrated Shiny Lickitung. I mean... Lickitung becomes yellow, so... I don't know. More ambient style? That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think everybody was dying over Charizard from Gen 1. They still are, honestly. They still are. But most people don't know... What's surprising is a lot of people don't know that Charizard's shiny actually changed. For how many people say that they're a fan of it. Yeah, the Charizard in cards in TCG is insane. The value of him is insane. But then in the game, like the actual main series games, not that great. He's solid for like 1 or 2 formats because he's always in the Gen 1, like in the always at launch, and after that he kind of dies off. Yeah. I don't know why Charizard is so popular in TCG. Or not TCG, but in the TCG for like a collection standpoint. That just baffles me. It really baffles me. Because I think, what was it? I think the Charizard card that did good was Charizard Reshiram, the tag team, and that was it really. Yeah, I feel like no matter what, people are gonna try and play Charizard. Yeah, I feel like I haven't kept up with it lately, but I remember Reshzard was pretty popular. Like really popular. TCG though is like a different beast of competitive. Oh yeah, if if you're only picking fire types, right off the bat, Misty is gonna give you trouble. Being such an early water type attacker. Such an early water type attacker. Did they? Yeah, I didn't know much about the TCG meta. People are always going to use Zard. I think the only thing for TCG that keeps popping up for me is TCG Pocket. Now, Zard is like very popular there. Whenever you stack it with a Moltres, but outside of TCG Pocket, it's like I have no clue. No clue what's meta. Archaladon. How's the Archaladon? Yeah, Megas kind of make up Kalos. Greninja definitely had a massive play with the popularity of Kalos, and then they changed the shiny odds. So if they didn't have Megas, that I feel like that region would have died. Like it wouldn't be so popular. Megas definitely define that region completely. Oh. So it actually like just doesn't have weaknesses? That's interesting. I tried to do TCG one time, and it is, for me, it is extremely hard. Because the types change. And it powers himself. Interesting. Interesting. I think Greninja from Kalos, though, needs to come back with, oh, what is it? It has its signature ability to where it becomes Ash's form. Who's like Ash's Greninja or something. Ash Greninja. I have to find a way to put Energy in the discard. Besides getting KO'd. I mean, hey, I think I can consistently put it in the discard pile by getting knocked out. That sounds like a play I could do. In all honesty. And I'd probably be really good at, too. Battle Bond? Is it Battle Bond Greninja? Yeah, they kind of took Battle Bond out. Because we were all hoping for that from the 7-star. Didn't they bring Protein back? They brought Protein back. For Greninja. I'm pretty sure I have a Protein Greninja. I think the way they changed Protein, because it was kind of broken with Cinderace. Right? I think I'm 10 off from full odds, so. Because they changed Protein on Cinderace from Galar, or how Protein worked, because in Galar it was broken. Now I think it only changes once per time it's out. $1,500 would be nice though if I got on 1,500. Libero? Is that what it was? I could be thinking of the wrong ability. There's so many abilities to like keep track of. Like, yeah, most Pokemon only have one ability that's like useful, but others have like multiple. You binge false swipe gaming. Okay. Like I said, I've been out of VGC for a little while. I want to get back in it. So I'm like trying to catch up with what's going on. Who's using what changes have been done. Yeah. I'll have to check them out. I will have to check them out. But yeah, there's so many. I think I might have seen false swipe gaming before. Because that's where I found, I think he covered Snorlax one time. And I was trying to finish a set for a max speed cursed Snorlax. And I think I stumbled upon him. 4 more. Close. It's supposed to be the odds. Now, I think everyone's still kind of up in the air on if that is the odds. Because the shiny charm is so broken in this game. I hope that's odds. I mean, if we could get it at odds, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. But we know that the shiny charm is broken on the Regis themselves. We're just not sure if it's broken on Regigigas. Yeah, I'm trying to pace with Regigigas. It takes a while to load in the game, and it's not like super fast for soft resets. So, you know, knock out 100, 200 a day, you can actually whittle it down really quickly. $16 DS is to speed up Moltres. That's crazy. There's an old hunt that takes a while. Takes a while. I've seen people do it though. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. 1450 right here. Be shiny. Not shiny. Not a shiny. I'm guessing it's going to be near around the 40-60 mark. There's only one way to find out, and that's to actually do the resets. Doing the resets. Hey, thanks for the follow, Mario. By the way, there's a version of Archella. Hello, Mario. How are you doing? A free retreat on everything. You do much shiny locking or shiny hunting, Mario? And if you guys didn't know, I do multi-stream on YouTube and Kick at the same time. So, just so you're all aware. A free retreat cross is crazy. For a Chaladon. Or I guess all metal Pokemon. No? You into the Pokemon games at all? No, we're not on Twitch as well. Mainly YouTube and Kick. I will probably start doing Twitch later. Do all three. But I do want to focus on YouTube and Kick. Because I am going to eventually be doing some Kick only. Hopefully on Friday. We'll be doing... Or I'll be playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Because over on Kick, we'll start doing extra games away from Pokemon. Playing Pokemon Sword. Let's go. Sword's a really good game. I still love Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield are still top tier. To me. But yeah, I might go to Twitch as well, but as of right now, not a main focus. So did you just get into Pokemon Sword, Mario? Couple days ago. How you liking it? How are you liking it? It is very fun. I'm a huge fan. Already at the fairy type gym. Moving through it. I'm a huge fan of the Dynamax and Gigantamax mechanic. The Megas are dope. Tera, I'm not a huge fan of. Dynamax and Gigantamax, I'm a huge fan of. Because you can actually use some Pokemon that typically you don't use. Which makes it a lot more enjoyable. You too. What was your starter? What was everyone's starter for Galar? What was the go-to? Because I feel like those guys got the most love out of all of them. Scorbunny. Scorbunny's good. Scorbunny's really good. Scorbunny was probably the strongest out of all of them. I ended up going with Grookey. Grookey got me. Grookey was amazing typing. And I think, if I remember right, the way that game was set up, or Sword and Shield were set up, your opponent picked the weaker one. Cinderace by the Fairy Gym. That's extremely strong. Scorbunny. Scorbunny was popular. I think Scorbunny was like the most popular out of all of them. Mimikyu became your new favorite project. That's... How did you go from Scorbunny to Mimikyu? That's one crazy of a jump. It's a crazy jump. Insane jump. What do you pay much attention to the story, Mario? Or are you more about the battling and going on like that? What are we above? We're above odds now. For above odds for charm. Above odds for charm hunting. Pretty great. I wish we knew if the charm actually was working. Because then we would kind of know what to expect. Okay, that's fine. If you gotta go soon, that's fine. Thanks for hanging out. All right, if you make it back by the end, all welcome. Thanks for hanging out regardless. 14-7. Almost 200 for today. 200 encounters. What did we say earlier? 1,500 was a possibility to get. This Machamp behind me has been standing here forever. I'm wondering if it'll get tired. Do you think it gets tired just standing there? As we jump into the den? Because it hasn't done anything besides get in the Pokeball and then come back out to stand. Nearing 15. Seems like the encounters have kind of gotten a little bit slower. But that's fine. That is fine. Not shiny. Did not mean to have that cry because the cry is very, very loud and very annoying. Very loud and very annoying. Almost 20 more than we're at 1,500. Which is honestly kind of crazy to think about. Since I think I started this hunt, a year ago, and I had to take a break from it. So 1,500 is not going to be bad. Could definitely be worse. Could definitely be worse. I think the only upside of this load screen is it's still faster than the load screen for BDSP, where if you were trying to do the suitcase method, it was like 5 minutes for one encounter. I think that's the only upside right now. Pretty sure it's the only upside. Because I remember people were doing that suitcase shiny hunt for BDSP, and it was like a month, 2 months. And then they just came to the DLC for Scarlet Violet. Where you can still hunt them. Which is honestly where I'm going to be hunting mine. Honestly, where I'm going to be hunting mine. Which I might start hunting the starters next week, depending on how... Welcome back, Mario. How are you? How's the fairy gym treating you? But I might start hunting the starters next week, depending on how the Paradox Pokemon start going, or Regigigas. Already doing the fairy gym. I want to say the fairy gym was the hardest for me when I went through, only because of the questions. I always messed up the questions. But when it came to the gym itself, it wasn't actually that hard. I mean, plus, if you're having Cinderace, Mario, then you're going to just blow right through that gym altogether. Cinderace is just a powerhouse. Yep, still going for the Regigigas. Almost at 1,500 resets. Almost at 15. We're above odds, but I figure we were going to end up going above odds. So we just got to keep going. The next odds milestone is, what is it, 4060? So 4,060, which we got a long way to go. So hopefully we get it before then. Will be the biggest help of getting it before we hit that point. Because once we get above that point, it starts becoming a drag. Yeah, they like using fake tears a lot in that gym. It's kind of like all they do. Which can be quite annoying. But I think you can still get through it. Should still be able to get through it pretty easy. You'll just have to swap out. Let's go. I think there's 3 questions. If I remember right, there's 3 questions. I failed every single question when I went through. Hurry up, JDX. I have not played Mario Rabbids Kingdom. I have seen some gameplay footage of it. It looks good. I mean, Ubisoft doesn't really do much anymore. I can't think of the last Last big thing that Ubisoft did. Good, yeah. Swapping out makes it a lot easier to get around those fake tiers. Oh, you played Mario and Rabbids. What'd you think of it? I've not played it. I've seen gameplay footage of it. It looks enticing. Good? It's interesting. I might have to add that to games to playlist. Might have to add that to the games to playlist. There's a lot of games I want to play, so... Yeah. One game I'm really excited to play it's not out, but it's for the Switch 2, which is kind of a bummer, is the new Donkey Kong game that's coming out. So the first one, there's 2? And I mean, how much lore is actually in that game? In Mario and Rabbids. Let's go. Second question, right? I think that was the favorite color one, right? For the second. No, it's not that one? Are they making another Sonic Racers? So a lot of lore. Interesting. I didn't think there would be a lot of lore in a Mario Rabbids game. Oh, last trainer name. Okay. We're world building an atmosphere. Interesting. I would have figured they would have just done like a Mario Rabbids and they just threw the rabbits in. I mean, Sonic Racers is gonna have to compete with Mario Kart, which I always thought Sonic Racers was better. But I haven't played World yet, so Mario Kart World. So that could still be up in the air. Still could definitely be up in the air. Who would have thought they would have been creative? Who would have thought? Ooh, last question was wrong. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, typically they don't blend universes together very well, especially when it comes to Mario, because you can't really touch Mario. You can't like change it in any way. What was the last question? Oh, what does Opal eat every morning for breakfast? How are you supposed to know that? Like, obviously I went through it and did it, but like, it doesn't tell you. $1,500. 1,500. What did you pick as the answer for that one? It was omelet? How are you supposed to know that? But at least now you have the right answer. And Mario and Sonic versus Sonic in the Olympic Games, I remember playing that for hours. For hours. Actually, curry? Huh. Yeah, I don't think Opal ever says exactly what she eats. So I don't know. I don't understand how you're supposed to know this. Yeah, there was the Olympic Games was fun. Yeah, I could never get into uh Mario Party games. They just didn't have like they just weren't fun to me. But the Olympic Games was a lot of fun. Like a ton. I did not. I did not. I had like my brother and we played. I've seen people play Mario Party. I just have never played it with people. So like the only thing I played was Mario and Sonic Olympic Games with my brother, and that was it. When you're forced as an introvert. Yeah. It's fine though. Hey, congrats on beating the fairy gym. Congrats. You're moving right along through it. Did you happen to get the DLCs along with it? I mean, they gotta have bundles and deals for it now, right? So it's not full price? No? That's fine. I'm hoping they do have deals for it now, though. Like, that'd be... It's what? 3 years old now? Maybe that? Yeah, I mean, that could be a fact for introverts. They just want to get the stuff done and go away. Go home. There's nothing bad about either one, so. Nothing bad about either one. You're about to be it. Okay. You should have it. You should have it easy. I think you can easily do it. Should be able to beat it easy. All right, see you when you get back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I think our goal for today is going to be 1550 encounters. So 250 encounters for the day. That's not bad. We can knock out another 150 tomorrow. And then start dwindling down on the paradoxes. So I don't know if we are going to be working on the shiny deck or the shiny charm today. We might just stick with the Regigigas encounters. But 250 encounters is not bad for a day. Not bad for a day. especially for soft resetting. Soft resetting can take forever. Dynamax. Did you Dynamax the Cinderace? Dynamax helps so much in Sword and Shield. So much. And it's not like it's an automatic win button either. Like Megas. Dynamax Greedent. That's interesting. That's a very bulky Pokemon. That's almost like a... it's kind of like a budget Snorlax. Can hit hard, has a high HP. Very bulky Pokemon. He's very good early game too, until you can actually get a Snorlax if that's what you're wanting to use. Oh, your Cinderace fainted. Okay. Yeah, Cinderace going down is kind of a hindrance, huh? The only way to kind of get around that is if you ended up EV training or giving items. Making sure they have items or are trained up. That can help you a little bit. Greedent fainted. That's not good. How many Pokemon are left? Five of her Pokemon are left? Oh boy. Oh, no, one. Okay, okay. Got worried there for a second. You have 2 faints and she has 5 left. That's a very tough situation. So what is that? That's Alcremie, right? Which was which would be the Dynamax Mon. Alcremie can be tough. Especially if it's Dynamaxed. Especially if it's Dynamaxed. Oh, then you should be able to use Cinderace, no problem. You revive Cinderace, you should be able to knock out the Alcremie. And if it is Dynamax, you can kind of just wait out the attacks, because it only gets 3. Makes it a little bit more manageable. Because once it's undynamaxed, it becomes super easy. Now you beat it. Congrats on completing the fairy type gym. You have Quagsire. Quagsire is a wall. That Pokemon can be so bulky and just so annoying to get rid of. Sounds like you got a pretty solid team there with Greedent, Cinderace, and Quagsire. You got 2 walls, a big bulky hitter, and a powerhouse of Cinderace. Greedent and Quagsire should be able to just stall out any Gigantamax or Dynamax that happens. So that'd be immensely helpful. Immensely helpful. Yeah, Dynamax Greedent. Yeah, Greedent getting that health boost in Dynamax form, it can be very annoying to get rid of. Does your Greedent have an item? You should look into giving your guys items, because then it'll help them even more. Greedent loves to have leftovers, helps him as well as a citrus berry. And you can always buy items from the shop. Or the shops. So you don't have to run around and find them on the ground. Because you can find a lot of them on the ground in the wild areas, and Pokeballs and the little glistening, the shiny things. But you can also buy them in the stores. Cinderace Muscle Band. Ooh. Interesting choice. Very interesting. $20 more. Yeah, Opal ends up being nice to BD towards the end. BD still seems, to me, seems like an enemy, like a bad person. Because she was always like mad and yelling and trying to stop other people. And Opal's trying to like stop that. Like stop her doing that. Which was kind of nice to see. Route 7 time. Let's go. Time to add some new Pokemon to your team. Route 7. Getting there. So if you're new to Sword, Pokemon Sword, what is your favorite Pokemon that you have came across so far? Because there was a lot of new Pokemon early. You want to catch Sword like the legendary? The legendary doggo? Zacian is extremely, extremely strong. Very, very strong legendary. So I'm guessing he would be your favorite new Pokemon from the region. Yeah, he is pretty good. Very, very good. I'm pretty sure my favorite Pokemon from that region was Alcremie, because it has the different forms, and it was like a very interesting Pokemon to use. Because I think they gave Alcremie like 20 different forms with all the different berries in the game. Which is, it's like unheard of how many forms that is. You have a Swirlix you don't want. On my first playthrough, or my playthrough of Sword, I ended up going on just playing through the game. I ended up getting a shiny Swirlix right off the bat. Or was it Slurpuff? It was one of those two. I want to say it was a Swirlix. But I couldn't have... If Swirlix is the one that evolves into Alcremie, then it's Slurpuff. But I ended up getting a shiny one right off the bat, like just adventuring the route. Let's say it was Slurpuff, but I couldn't evolve it because it's a trade evolution, and it was just random. On how I got a shiny off the bat, it was just very, very lucky odds. Like, insanely lucky. But it was a trade evolution, so I could never actually evolve it. I still have it. It's just unevolved. I had the same thing happen with Violet as well. I was adventuring around before I even hit the city, and on the first route to the school, I ended up finding a shiny Magikarp. Sometimes you can get full odd shinies, and they're just like extremely rare because that's a 1 out of 4,000 and like 60 or 4,096. So it's like, it's insanely rare to get a full odd shiny, but it is possible. It's a lot of luck. Time to battle Hop. Good luck. Hop, I think, at this point gets a lot stronger. And he always changes his team, so you can never be ready for everything. Have to be ready for anything. Oh, I guarantee you will beat him. I guarantee it. How long is what gonna take? Because if you're talking about the Regigigas, then it could be forever, honestly. So it can actually take forever. What we're doing is we're soft resetting to get the shiny. And we're already past odds. So it's a very rare chance to have this Pokemon change into its shiny form. So the way it works is typically odds with the shiny charm is like 1460. So 1 out of 1,460 you got a chance for it to be a shiny. We're already past that, which the shiny charm does not seem to work correctly on the Regis. So we never actually figured out if it actually applied to Regigigas in the raid. In doing so, that becomes a 1 out of 4,096 chance for this one Pokemon to roll and be a shiny. And every time I reset, it gives it another chance. So it is a very rare thing, and it can be a very long hunt. Good job beating Hop. So I'm just taking it a few hundred at a time instead of sitting down and knocking out just until it happens. Because soft reset hunts can be very time consuming and can go on for quite a while, because you can even pass your odds, which once you pass odds, it's a struggle because you already know that you should have gotten it by then. But that's why whenever you do soft resets or reset methods, you kind of want to take a break from them every now and then, because they can be very time consuming and very draining. But once you do get it, it is 100% worth it. But it can take a long time. Can take a very long time. And this is 1550. So this is going to be our last check for the day. So we've knocked out 250 encounters today alone. Pretty good work. We got above shiny charm odds. So now we're just working on full odds. And not shiny. It is a bummer. Above shiny charm odds. But it is what it is. You have to keep going, obviously. But that is going to do it for today. I don't stream very long. I typically do like 3 to 4 hours right now, as I have other stuff going on. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. Stopping by the YouTube and Kick stream. If you don't know and you're on YouTube, I do stream on Kick as well. And Fridays, I am going to start trying to add in Kick-only streams where we're playing something else away from Pokemon, because, well, you can't shiny hunt forever. You need to play some other games as well, and they're nice little hangouts. But I want to thank you all for stopping by. And if you do, if you do play Pokemon Go, I had the new event for the Community Day coming up this weekend. That video just went live on the YouTube channel. If you want to go check it out, it'd be greatly appreciated. And catch you guys next time.